Hello Mayhem Makers, I am Mindy with Quilting Mayhem, back to another Mindy's Monday Mayhem Live. And this week we're going to talk my top 5 favorite feet, because all the Bernina feet and Bernette feet are on sale, 20% off for the entire month. So I thought I'd just give you kind of my hot tip of the feet that you should have with your machine that don't come with a machine. And as you see in front of me, I have the lovely new Crystal Edition, Special Edition, Bernina 790. If you don't know, the 790 is my most favorite machine, besides, you know, the Q long arm. But for domestic machines, I do love the 790. We did just get a new supply of them. They are in stock, on sale, the 20% off sale, and they come with a free bracelet. I think this is my favorite part. If you like a little bling in your life, you need a Swarovski crystal bracelet to go with your Swarovski crystal machine, and it also comes with a tin of all kinds of bling. Look at that stuff. Oh my gosh. So I just wanted to show off these beauties because they come with so much stuff. They come with luggage, they come with embroidery designs, they come with fabric and thread from us for 12 months. You can't get that anywhere else. So this is just, if you're looking to upgrade, this is the one you want to come see us about. And we will have a whole bunch of machines promoted during the Quilters Anonymous show in 2 weeks when we're there. But we also have a bunch here in the store right now on sale. Part of the Bernina promotion is the 5 series, 7 series, and 8 series are all 20% off. And we do have some other machines that we have in stock that are also on sale. And we just restocked all our previously owned machines. So we have a whole new supply of some of those floor models and trade-ins that have been cleaned up, spruced up, and are ready to go home with you at a discounted price. So if you're looking for a machine, come see us. But before I talk about feet, it is the first Monday of March. I don't want to forget. I do promise you guys, I'm going to remind you, planners. If you're using your quilter's planner and you maybe forgot to look at it in February, it's March. Open it up. I was impressed. I opened up March because I maybe forgot to look at it the last week, and I already had March stuff in it. I thought that was awesome of me. So apparently February me thought about March me and gave me some reminders of some stuff I need to work on. So maybe you need to do that too with your planner, is as you're plotting out maybe this month, even planning out the future months. Maybe you know that there's something you do in July every year and you need to put yourself kind of a to-do list or a reminder, any of those kinds of things. So maybe today you needs to give future you some reminders. So that is kind of my hot tip for this month. Is it's always a nice surprise to have that little reminder that says, hey, don't forget you're supposed to get this done. Because yeah, I needed it, because I went, oh, whoops, yeah, time's flying. I got to get on that. So pull out those planners, start working on them. They are helpful. They do work. You just got to keep at it. And don't worry, I know if you just haven't really touched it, do it now. There's still 10 more months this year. We got a long ways to go to get through this year. So start doing it now. But now we'll talk about feet. So nothing is more fun than having all kinds of different feet for your machine to do the job more easily for you. Because sometimes, I mean, yeah, you could do binding with just one foot and sewing and stitching and all that. Are you going to get the results you want? Probably not. Are you going to be happy while you do it? Probably not. So I'm just going to tell you, the number one foot, no matter what, it's the 97, unless you have an older Bernina. If you have an older Bernina, it may be the 57 or the 37 if you have a really old Bernina. Some of you people are old 440 owners like me. You might have that 37, which they're all 1/4 inch feet. They're just different widths depending on the width of your feed dogs in your machine. And some have guides, some do not. So the 97 foot does come with a guide that you can screw onto your machine. I like that it's not attached to the foot. It is optional, so you can add it if you want. but otherwise I just use the foot by itself. I don't like having the guide because I switch around, do a couple different things, and it just gets in my way. So if you have a newer machine that has dual feed, you want the 97D, D for dual feed. If you don't, then you most likely want a C foot or even just a 97 foot if it is an older machine. But one of my favorite things with this foot is it actually has notches in it that help you line up. So there's a notch on the side of where your needle comes down. So if you want to be able to stop on your fabric where your needle is, it has a notch for that. It has a notch a 1/4 inch up. So if you need to stop a 1/4 inch from where the needle is, say you're doing some binding, it has that, so you can stop and do what you need to do. So I love that it has some extra markings on it for those things. So that is why this is my absolute favorite. I use it 90% of the time, 80% of the time. It rarely comes off my machine because all I do is piece most of the time, until I get a little crazy and do garments. That's what I was doing today. One of my other favorite feet for piecing is the 34. So the 34 comes in all the kinds of different feet also. But the plus side of the 34, you probably can't tell, it is a clear foot. So it is clear so you can see through it, but it has red crosshairs. Also so you can line up with your needle. I like having it has a red line right straight on with the needle. Why do I like that? Because I use it for paper piecing. So if you're doing foundation paper piecing, it helps you follow that line because you're sewing on line. You're not following a seam allowance really or anything. You're just stitching on paper on a line, using that 34 with that line. Just keep it on your paper where you're trying to stitch, and it just keeps you right where you belong, and it's clear so you can see through it. So that is helpful to be able to see that. Let's see, the next. So I kind of cheated. So I was saying top 5 feet, but some of it's kind of top 5 techniques. So I have a few favorites for certain things. So there may be more than 5 feet. Don't call me out. So when it comes to binding, all you guys, you come to me all the time about binding. So now I tell people there's 2. If you talk to me, the 71 foot is my favorite. It is what they call the run-and-fell foot. That's generally more of a garment foot. You know, we're back to garments again. But what I love, if you come check it out, is it has a curve. So part of this foot actually has a curve to it. And so it helps you pull that binding over to the top. So with this one, you are sewing your binding to the back of your quilt, and then you're bringing the binding over to the top stitching down on the top, and then I don't really care what the back looks like, the thread on the back. That's why I like doing the top stitching on the front of my quilt. I do have YouTube videos on binding that show both the 71 and the 10D that I'm talking about. So for more information, more details how to use these and do binding, go find that YouTube video on binding, and it'll give you you'll see how it functions. The 10D, what's nice about it, has a guide down the middle. Okay, so this is more of a top stitch type foot, also for garments, but great for binding because you use that guide. It runs down the binding that you're trying to top stitch down, and you just have to move your needle over. So I move it over 2 clicks, 3 clicks, depending how I feel. Make sure you have an open stitch plate on your machine, or you're going to break a needle. But you'll just have the guide run on the binding, the needle over a few clicks, and it's just going to barely catch that binding, and it's going to look all nice and pretty. You could do a serpentine stitch because it's an open foot. You can do decorative stitches if it's like children's quilts or you just want something fun, all kinds of things. So the D foot has some great multi-purposes also. And that's what I love about most of the feet I use. They have multiple purposes. If you know me, I'm not really into a whole bunch of one-trick ponies most of the time. I want something that's going to have a lot of options for me. So that's why I like those feet. Now, okay, we've talked piecing, binding. My next favorite set of feet, there's a couple things. So when I start talking quilting, finishing my quilts, trying to get them done. If you've gone back and watched, I showed you some ruler work. So the ruler work foot. Okay, 72 foot came out, a year or 2 ago. It's a fairly new foot. You will see it is thicker. Okay, so the whole point of that thicker foot is it's going to run along the thicker ruler. So make sure you're using quilting rulers, not just your everyday creative grids, because you'll slip and slam into that ruler and put your machine in all kinds of unhappiness. So thick ruler foot, thick rulers, and then you use that as your guide for your quilting. Okay, so also there's some YouTube tutorials by me showing you the ruler foot, and I'm starting to be very addicted to rulers because they make my quilting more precise. So I like that part. Hey Curtis, happy Monday. Sorry the squeaky voice. I had a busy weekend with a friend in town and I may have talked a little too much. Go figure. Me? You know. So also with quilting, the stitch regulator. If you've never seen a Bernina stitch regulator, heard of a Bernina stitch regulator, it is another fabulous foot. Some of our machines come with them. So it is a mini little computer. It has a little eye and it actually regulates your stitches. So as you're trying to do free motion, this is a free motion style quilting foot, it will help you keep your stitches at the same stitch length regardless of your speed. So if you speed up, it speeds up. You slow down, it slows down. It's magical. I love it. It comes with a couple different feet attachments. So if you're trying to work on like some quilting on applique, those kinds of things, you can change out the foot. So I love it. If your machine did not come with it and you've been practicing free motion just on your own with a regular open toe foot, step up to the stitch regulator if you don't like your stitches, and that will probably ease a lot of your pain. And then of course, talking quilting, the other one I have that is a must in the arsenal, the walking foot. Was just talking to a customer today, teaching her about all the lovely things of walking feet, because she was working with Minky, Cuddle. You know, it's a very slippery, it can be a little difficult to work with. The walking foot is great for trying to keep those pieces together, those really slippery ones, your rayons, your satins, silks, all those. That walking foot's going to give you that extra coverage of foot. I'm going to pull, I don't know why I put it away earlier, because I'm pulling it back out. And so, if you've never seen a walking foot, maybe you're new to quilting. Looks like this. It is a really large foot, but look at how much space. It is super wide, so it covers a lot of area. So when you're quilting, it's got that much space that's coming down, working with your feed dogs that are coming up to then pull your fabric through. Now, even if you have dual feed is great. It has that little foot that comes and helps, right? And it comes down while you're piecing and helps keep your piecing straight. But it's a small one. It's like a little baby walking foot, where a real walking foot has a lot more coverage. And same thing, it comes with a couple of different soles to work with, and it comes with some guides. If you're doing straight line quilting, you have some fabulous little guides so that you just have to set it. You don't have to draw all your lines. You know me, I'm also about efficiency. If I don't have to draw lines, I'm not going to. So it's great. I can set that guide, set it at 1 inch. It's just going to follow my first line and just be nice and consistent. So lots of great reasons to have that walking foot. So those are my top favorites. If you don't have those, I highly recommend, now's the time to invest because they're 20% off, or come see us. If you want to see it in action, you want to use it, test drive it, all that kind of stuff, absolutely come see us. We'll gladly show you how it works. Or maybe you have it and you've never pulled it out and need help with it. Same thing. Let us know, come see us, or like I said, a couple of these feet I actually have tutorials on. You can go to YouTube and I show you how I use them, like the 71 and the 10D foot, how to do the binding, those kinds of things. Go find those tutorials, just watch them over and over till you kind of get it. Practice a lot. Everything always takes practice before you get to that perfection, okay? So you have to the end of the month to come play and check them out, see what you need. Maybe dig them out, play with them. Maybe you didn't know that's what that foot did. All those kinds of things. Or if you have other feet that came with your machine and you don't know what they do, please come see us. We'll gladly help you. We want you to take the most advantage of everything you have, all the tools at your disposal, so that all your sewing goes smoothly. Okay, guys? And otherwise, because I'm getting super froggy, we're gonna call it quits for today. And it's just a beautiful day. So go out, get some sewing done, enjoy your day, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Happy stitching.